Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to you lovely folks joining me here nice and early at Marvel Snap Zone. Welcome back to our Infinite Decks of the Week series. The time for us to showcase all of the incredible, unique deck lists that made their way to the Infinite rank this week and get them over into your hands so you can play them on the Marvel Snap ladder yourself. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please do me a favour. Looking to make that 10,000 subscriber mark before the end of the year, and we're getting ever closer, so I would really appreciate it if you could press the button for us, turn on your notifications, and make sure that you aren't missing out on any content that comes out of the team here at Marvel Snap Zone. Okay, I mean, currently Marvel Snap is a bit frustrating around certain cards at the moment, leading to numerous players asking for a balance patch in order to return to an environment where innovating can be rewarded. Mostly cards like Leech, Leader, and AERO are being criticised for being too effective at what they do and limiting the play experience of many players. And it's hard to go against those arguments. The amount of priority and or good card decks is increasing every single day, especially amongst those looking to achieve their ladder goal before going on a Christmas break. Myself included, unfortunately, as we bottled out at rank 98 on tonight's stream before I head home for Christmas. But we didn't create this series just to celebrate reaching Infinite. Although it's an impressive feat and should be acknowledged, we installed Infinite Decks of the Week as a highlight to highlight the highest rank in the game with a different take on the game and to show our appreciation for players who have found a way to beat the current metagame with their take on an archetype or innovative brew. In the current metagame, finding such players isn't easy. The frustration of losing to the same cards on repeat and the sight of the Infinite rank looming on the close horizon can drive a lot of us crazy, pushing those with a strong belief in their deck to change side and join the leader army overall. Yet, we managed to find 3 players this week who did the impossible and climbed to Infinite without Leader, AERO, or Leech in their deck. None of those featured here. Today, we celebrate Christmas and we celebrate creativity. So if I don't see you again beforehand, happy holidays to everybody. Please do enjoy your time off while you've got it. Let's take a look at some of these deck lists over here on the screen. Up first, Zero Dracula meet in the Kazoo archetype all together in the same bundle. We actually saw this deck mentioned by Tian Ding on December 23rd in a post about good decks from Second Dinner, and many more of this build since that point. However, Handong Shui reported this deck on December 19th as the one he used to climb to Infinite, so he's going to get the credit today in our book. In this new take on the Kazoo archetype, the deck includes 2 of the biggest cards in the game, Red Skull and the Infinaut, as huge point contributions. As a way to support these, there is Dracula, which is usually looking to discard the Infinaut, the latter being easy to isolate in hand thanks to your low curve. Red Skull is often paired with Zero, a well-statted 3-cost card that fits nicely into a Kazoo shell, and also has the ability to cancel Lizard's ability out at times if required. Maybe even Maximus is a card that should be considered in this set shell for a similar synergy, The rest of this deck is made up with the current annoying duo of Armor and Cosmo, which benefit from being played with priority the majority of the time, and the basic shell of Kazoo, which with the surprising Sunspot inclusion, which makes a lot of sense given that the Infinaut is in the deck. Overall, Zerocula seems to make some sense in the current environment, as well as being very flexible and shouldn't lose too many energy over the course of a game, yet it isn't so predictable, thanks to things like Dracula and Red Skull who can come in and contest the lane all by themselves. I really wouldn't be surprised to see this take on Kazoo become much more popular in the near future. Our second deck of the week is yet another Silver Surfer archetype with a very different spin on things where possible. Silver Surfer has been a hell of a card since its release earlier this month. With very strong pairings alongside Mr. Negative and Serra, nobody felt like the card needed another archetype to be a part of, yet Snap BBO Mods decided to test the latest Battle Pass card with another usual suspect when it comes to abusing on reveal effects, Lockjaw. Granted, this deck is very close to both Serra and Mr. Negative builds of Silver Surfer, but you can only do so much when 2/3 of the deck have to be 3-cost cards. The big difference here is that the payoff is associated with Surfer is it being a 3-cost itself. This results in the deck being able to be dangerous on Lockjaw lane in addition to constant flexibility on the other 2 lanes. If we compare that with the Mr. Negative build, for example, whenever you see Psylocke followed by Mr. Negative, you should know that it's an easy one to get by at the end of the game one way or the other, either get out or stay in. If we think about it, there are several synergies that could work, very well in this deck, but feel kind of weird. First, pulling Silver Surfer or Brood with the first card you play behind Lockjaw might be a bit disappointing. I guess it means we can develop our lanes with 3-cost cards and keep Lockjaw for the later stages of the game. Then, even if Lockjaw allows for extra 3-cost cards in exchange for Iceman or Bast, the high ceiling of this deck makes it feel like it'd be more difficult to achieve compared to something like Negative or Serra enabling some stupidly strong turn 6 plays. Nevertheless, this build feels like it's quite ingenious, and it must be worth something if it's allowed its pilot to reach the highest rank in the game. Well worth checking this one out. Last but not least, we feature a brand new card entering Series 5, already making itself known in the form of Darkhawk. This exact list has been shared by 2 separate streamers on the day of the card's release, in Binks Plays and Wall Willow Reel. And while the first one praised it for its power level and very annoying play patterns, it is the latter who made it to Infinite with this deck, so he gets the nod this time around. In this on-reveal shell, Darkhawk serves as a big scoring card of the deck and enables Mystique to become a second one as well. And while you could believe this deck is built in order to maximize Darkhawk's efficiency, which it does in a way, there are many more play patterns available to it. Black Widow into Wave into Odin on the same lane just locks the opponent out of 2 draw steps. Wave into Doctor Doom into Odin lets you play to every location and have a flexible turn 5 in between. And Serra allows for sweet miracle turns on turn 6, such as Darkhawk plus Mystique plus Lizard, or simply Darkhawk plus Rock Slide. In addition to these, the cheap cards in the deck such as Iceman, Korg and Armor simply are annoying for several decks currently. Overall, the deck feels pretty well rounded and has more support to be played past the simple Darkhawk is a nice new card gimmick you might think brings this one to light. I can easily admit the metagame can feel a bit stale right now, and if you're playing on ladder every day, you might face the same deck quite a lot. Destroy with Death, Electro with Leech, AERO leader decks are really popular, and most people tend to default to those when lacking a better idea. Yet compared to what a stale metagame on other card games can be, Marvel Snap still feels diverse than other dominant card games on the market. And even 3 weeks into the Cosmic Power metagame, I still easily find some creative brews to feature in this series. So even if from the inside, Marvel Snap isn't feeling as fresh as it was a couple months ago, and the ladder may be fiercer as well, in terms of deck lists, I guarantee there are still some creative brews waiting out there to be found, browsing Discord or social media, and I hope that we are giving these players the credit they deserve with this weekly series. If you want to appear on the next one, the best thing you can do is tag myself, HowlingMines, or Den CCG, or Marvel Snap Zone over on Twitter when you reach Infinite, as we would love to showcase your build. Alternatively, find the whole Marvel Snap team tucked away in our community Discord in the comment section down below, in the box down below, and come and check us out. Let's show us what you're up to and what you're winning with. Until next time, folks, I have been HowlingMines. You've been amazing. Merry Christmas. Take care, and I'll see you again soon. Have a good one.